Hello, thank you, Pirkolis. Greetings from Riga. And on the left of this slide, you see a picture you would typically not see in our countries, or at least you should not see that many people are going somewhere. So this is not the case anymore. As to the typical issues which are common in all countries, so of course this is the era of remote work, and in Baltic countries also schools are closed, and kindergartens are at least partly closed. This is not the case with Belarus. And e-commerce and any delivery services are of course on demand right now. As to affected industries, these are also the same, I think, across the world. So hotels, tourism, art, entertainment, retail, manufacturing, and so on. But now let's look then country by country. The next slide, please. Okay, so as to Estonia, Estonia has state of emergency as of 12th of March. So currently it is extended until 17th of May. Principles of exit strategy have been approved, but clear steps still have to follow. As to the current situation, so there is lockdown of shopping centers, except of necessary services like food shops and pharmacies and so on. Generally, no public events like concerts and conferences are allowed. As to unemployment rate, so you can see that in March this year the rate is for 1.3% higher than in the same period last year, and April also has not ended yet, but there are some data already, and also the unemployment rate is growing. As to collective redundancy, so in all European Union countries, and the employers, in case of collective redundancies, have to notify the local state authorities. And in Estonia, in March, there have been 67 notifications covering approximately 1,300 employees. The data about April will follow, so these are notices only in March. Of course, also a number of employee complaints and disputes increases, and typically these complaints to state authorities and other institutions are about non-paid salaries, not sufficiently grounded termination notice, and so on. The next slide, please. So in Latvia, like in Estonia, there is the state of emergency from 12th of March, and it has been prolonged to 12th of May. But most likely this state of emergency will be extended, though restrictions will be eased. Of course, not all of them. So basically, this state of emergency will only slightly change after 12th of May. And the reason is that perhaps in Latvia, in comparison to other EU countries, there are these restrictions also so far they are rather moderate. So of course, then generally public and private events are not allowed. But for example, shopping centers are working except for Saturdays and Sundays when only food stores and some important services are open. As to unemployment rate, This March we have seen increase for 0.5%. There are no data for April, but of course it is clear that this increase will continue. Starting from the 12th of March, when the state of emergency was declared, until 20th of April, 29 employers have notified about collective redundancies, and these notifications cover approximately 4,500 employees, and big part of them are those employed in the aviation sector. So 700 people are terminated. Their employment is terminated by the national air carrier Air Baltic, and also international airport of Riga is laying off 500 employees. And also in Latvia, the number of complaints, the labor inspectorate is increasing. So there is no data that there, at least for now, there would be increase of claims in relation to employment law violations at courts. I think it's just too early. The next slide, please. Okay. Also, in Lithuania, there is state of emergency already since 26th of February. Though really like quarantine or lockdown measures started on 16th of March. So currently they are extended until 11th of May. And it is possible that also in Lithuania this state of emergency will be extended further, but the measures will be gradually softened. And during this quarantine period, there are restricted activities of shops, shopping, entertainment centers, and of course public entertainment places like cinemas, theaters, and so on. They are not working. Also, as I understand, restaurants and cafes are not working as well. Though of course delivery, takeaway or home delivery services are operating. As to unemployment rate, there is a increase in it also in Lithuania, and increase is actually for 2%. And since 16th of March, when these really important lockdown measures started, there have been 28 notices of collective redundancies. So then, and these notifications cover more than 1,400 employees. The next slide, please. The situation in Belarus is slightly different. Until now, there is no state of emergency declared, but of course there are some restrictions in Belarus as well. For example, all massive events with international participation are restricted, and also local mass events are limited. Extraordinary measures at public places are implemented, and those who are there must comply with these measures. But in general, there still are no major quarantine measures in Belarus implemented. So these measures are implemented so far. They are really with a purpose to fight infection And as you see, these measures are rather moderate, so at least for now there's no dramatic effect on employment. Also in Belarus, when it comes to private companies, many of them allow working remotely, but as Belarus is affected of what is going on in other countries, it is expected that also in Belarus unemployment rate will increase. Thank you. This was short introduction about situation in labor market in Baltics and Belarus.
I think we maybe tackle some regional type of questions, and I think that perhaps what would be interesting to share our thoughts on is whether the crisis would have an influence on the development of local labor laws in the Baltics and in Belarus after this COVID situation. So maybe we start with Andis. What are your thoughts about it?
Yes. So in Latvia, I would not expect that in Latvia I would not expect that there will be really some important development. What will happen is that there will be some employer-friendly amendments adopted quite soon, but they will be limited with this crisis situation.